Hello and welcome to this quick EdTech Bite about some tips and tricks for providing student feedback using the Brisk extension. Now, if you're not familiar with Brisk Teaching, this is an extension that goes within your Google Chrome account. So you're just going to have to enable that within your Google Chrome. Now, first of all, make sure you have your Google Chrome open and that it is updated. So you are going to go to this puzzle piece and then you're going to find the Brisk Teaching extension and make sure that's enabled. And that way you know that that is pinned now on your extension. So once that Brisk logo ends up on your Chrome extension bar, you are now good to go. So let's talk a little bit about providing student feedback. I'm going to go a little bit of a different path than just opening up a document that is for student feedback. I want to sort of mesh two ideas together, and that's going to be using Google Classroom, a student paper turned in, and the Brisk Teaching extension. So I have a Google Classroom here. That's what I'm going to start with. I've already created by going to create an assignment, and in that assignment it's going to be giving me an essay about layers of the earth. Now I'm focusing this on 4th grade because that's more so what I'm familiar with, but you can accommodate this in any grade. I'm going to go here and edit this assignment, and what I have done is I have given students directions on what I want them to accomplish for this particular essay. And once I have saved this, students are going to be able to turn in that assignment here within Google Classroom. So once students have completed their assignment in Google Classroom and they turn it in, you're going to be able to go here to review student work. And what's so great about having this Brisk extension work within Google Docs is since the student has completed this paper in Google Docs, that Brisk extension is still active. So you can go through and basically toggle between all of your student papers in one space. So I'm going to go down here and open up this Brisk extension and go to give feedback. We're going to start with the one that's a little bit easier to wrap our heads around, and that is a glow and a grow. So I'm going to click on this guy, and it's going to use one of the prompts that I've had saved previously, which I don't really want to use that one. I want to make sure that everything is in that same grade level band that I have. And here I have added some standards. So it is a 4th grade writing standard, and I'm using these two particular standards. And now I have that here in my feedback. Now, when I want to offer specific feedback, I usually go back to my Google Classroom and I pull out the instructions. I'm going to copy those, and then I'm going to go back to that student essay, and that is what I'm going to put into my prompt. And now that I pasted that in there, I said I want to provide feedback based on this writing prompt. The more specific you are here within this prompt and tied to specific standards, the more specific it's going to be. Now here's one of my first tips is I do like to consistently copy and paste this part into a prompt, but on the top part I like to individualize this somewhat for students. It really depends on how many students you have. I mean, if you're grading 165 papers, then that's not going to be helpful. I have included the student's name, and I've included an area that I want to emphasize with looking at this particular glow and grow. So now that I have that personalized little paragraph up here, I can go ahead and hit Brisket. Now I can choose to copy and paste certain things into this paper, or I can go ahead and just hit insert, and it's going to insert that entire table. And then once I agree that this is what I want, and then that will be the table that is added. Now, moving forward, if I had another student's paper here, I can still go to Brisket, and when I provide that same type of feedback, it's going to keep that saved in prompt history. So now I can just go through here and add another student's name as opposed to the one that was there before. Let's look at some other options for feedback. Now, if you go to give feedback and provide next steps, I'm just going to go ahead and Brisk that to show you how that looks a little bit different. What I like about next steps is that if you put in your prompt those very specific areas that you want to focus on, it does create those next steps for each one of those areas in the prompt. If not, it's going to pick next steps that are based off of whichever standards you had put inside that feedback prompt. Once again, you hit insert and it's going to be that same layout. And once again, it's also going to have that student's name, which is kind of fun. Now, since this is in Google Classroom, as a teacher, it is going to provide this in suggesting mode. So you're going to have to want to accept suggestions if you want that to stay within the student's paper. Now, moving on to a slightly different version of feedback is this third type, and that is targeted feedback. Now at APS, we do have the schools and districts account. So I'm going to go here to targeted feedback. Once again, I'm going to ask the very specific thing I want that was in the prompt in my Google Classroom. If you want this extremely targeted, I would even put a few more details here within a prompt. So in this case, I've said I wanted to target how the Earth was formed, what layers are, and cool facts about the planet. Keeping those same standards I had previously, I'm going to go ahead and brisk this now. And what you're going to notice is that it's going to provide feedback in the text itself as a comment. Now for fourth graders, this seems like a lot of text. So I would go back into the different paragraphs and I would maybe delete or edit some of this information. Now, if there is a really good comment, like maybe about specific examples, this is why I like to do this from within Google Classroom. I'm going to go ahead and copy this over. And then here in Google Classroom, you can go to the comment bank and you can add this same type of comment to the comment bank. And then when you have other papers, instead of going through and hitting brisk for targeted feedback over and over and over again, you can go ahead and use this comment bank. You can go here to add comment, and brisk is going to be here to help you provide a suggestion. So you don't necessarily have to run brisk here to provide that targeted feedback. You can actually highlight a specific place in the paper. I can go here to add comment, and I can have brisk suggest an interesting fact or something to add here at the end. So there's just some like fun extra structures here if you would like to have that within brisk. So now the final thing in Brisk Teaching that I wanted to show you was the opportunity to give feedback here using a rubric. Now, one of the things I like to do is sort of tie in my Google Classroom rubric with the one that is in Brisk. So let me show you what I mean by that. I have a rubric template. It has the criterion and a criterion description. It has the different rubric levels, and then it has a description for each of those. Now, this is a template version of this. So you're going to want to go to File and make your own copy. And now we have an editable version. So I'm going to go here to a blank doc. I'm going to have Brisk make that rubric for me. So I'm going to come here in a Google Doc and I'm going to go to create a rubric. I'm going to go ahead and keep those same standards for my paper, fourth grade, and how much of a scale I'm going to use. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. I'm going to copy the prompt. So I put in here that I want up here to create a 4-point rubric based on the writing prompt about the layers of the Earth. And then I just copied and pasted my directions or instructions from Google Classroom. Now I'm going to go down here and say that I want that scale to be based on these levels, which now I'm going to copy and paste those levels from my rubric. And I'm also going to want to say I want a criterion and a criterion description on that rubric. So I have that whole prompt there, and now I'm going to brisk it. And I should have, I think I should have been a little bit more clear about how many different levels I wanted, or been more specific about the levels I want. But I'm going to go through here and actually just pick 4 of them. So I'm going to pick the essay structure, and then use of evidence, language and vocabulary, and maybe some fun facts. So I'm just going to go back and copy the criterion, which is essay structure. I'm going to go back to that rubric that's editable. Essay structure, the criterion description down here. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy that, paste it over here, and then here under these standards, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go here and just copy it across. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to make sure that it's in the same order. Those in across this way, and it's not going to take me very long to add in that other criteria. So I'm going to do that really quick. All right, so now we have our rubric here that has all of those structures that were previously in this Google Doc. It really didn't take super long to copy and paste it over. Now that I have this all set up as a rubric, and I'm going to actually download this really quick. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to go back into that assignment of layers of the earth. Now we're going to pretend that I'm editing this before I go ahead and make this live and active for students. And then here I'm going to go to this spot in this Google Classroom and import it from Google Sheets. I now have my Earth essay rubric. I'm going to add that in. And what you're going to notice is each of those sections has now been created as a criterion, and I went ahead and turned on use scoring, and I'm going to save that now. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that assignment. And now when I go back to review the work in Google Classroom, you're going to notice here on the side you have those rubric options that we just added. So what I like to do now is I'm going to go here to Brisk, and I'm going to give feedback from rubric criteria. Now this is a little bit different than the other versions of giving feedback, and that's because you want to clear out anything that's here. So if you do have standards, we actually want to not have those in here. Once you have cleared out those options, you can select a rubric. Now the reason I wanted to download that rubric is I'm going to now upload that rubric here. I'm going to change the prompt a little bit to explain that I want to do the feedback based on the rubric, and then I also include the writing prompt. And now I'm going to go down here to Brisket, and you're going to notice that it's going to give some feedback and information on each one of those specific areas. Now what I like about this is Brisk doesn't necessarily give a complete grade. And now based on this feedback, since it doesn't really give you those points necessarily, I can go here really quick and go, okay, essay structure, I agree that's probably a 4. The evidence, you're right, to improve, that's one of those areas that needs more detail. So I can look here, maybe I'll give this area a 2, but basically these two things work in tandem. I'm just going to randomly grade it here really quick. And once I have added that rubric, I can see that the student has received a grade based on the rubric information, but they can further see this information that is also part of that Brisk rubric feedback. And so it all ties in nicely together. Now, a couple more added bonus things here within Brisk feedback is you can go in here and you can inspect the student's writing. If this is a writing prompt and it's actually a writing assignment, I can see all of the different changes that were built over time and how long the student has been in this paper creating it and all of the different edits. One of the other things, and I wouldn't make it punitive or something that I would base a grade off of, but you can go up here and inspect the writing using this little hourglass to see how likely it was written with AI. And honestly, I did write it with AI, so it's very likely. But once you have graded basically a majority of the papers in this particular assignment, you can go here to Brisk. And I can go to this little button right here that will give me feedback insights based on the last 10 assignments that I've graded. So areas of strength is my students are really great at clear essay structure, but something that they need help with is enhancing supporting of details. So what I could do now is I could create a quiz. I've added in a prompt about wanting main idea and details information, and then I'm going to go ahead and Brisk that. Now in my account, it's going to create that quiz here in the Google Doc. And what's really neat with Brisk is now I can go here and I can make sure I recreate this as a full quiz. We're going to keep it multiple choice and 5 questions. And then now I'm going to make this as a Google form. Now, the reason I want this to be created as a Google form is because Google Forms work really good within Google Classroom. You do want to make sure that in settings, this is set up as a quiz. I'm going to go back to the original Google Classroom, and now you can create a really quick quiz assignment. And now I'm going to pull it in from my drive, and now we're going to select our Zoo Google form. And what's neat is that since this is already made as a quiz, I can go here and make sure that I have grade importing turned on. And when the students take this quiz that was directly created from this activity that was the student insights on what they needed more help with, that has now become a brand new graded Google Classroom assignment. And there it is for the students. So those are just some ideas on how you can give feedback from Brisk, as well as using this within your Google Classroom.